Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people and my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where today we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from March of 28, 1992. If you're listening on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the little thumbs up gimmick. Help us continue to grow the YouTube channel. And before I throw it to the two gentlemen with me this week, big time shout out to Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Ice, and good old Justin for your generous support on Patreon each and every month and basically being the sponsors of this show. We have a returning co-host today. Doc, welcome back. Even though if they're patrons, they may have already heard you on the NFL Prediction Show. How are you, man? It's great to have you back in the saddle again. Yeah.
I was just about to fucking say that.
Back in the saddle again.
I figured that would be Harper, and you would sing Eminem, Look Who's Back.
Nah.
And I would come in and sing Eric Bischoff's song.
What's that?
I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
Better than ever. It's good to be back. It is good to be back. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. I've heard, I've let Crockett try to kill this show. He came in and he got CM Punk fired. He's the reason that LSU lost their opener. So I decided it was time to come out of summertime hiatus and kick Crockett to the curb.
It was horrible. It was like the fake Diesel and the fake Razor.
Hey, can we be serious for a second about one
sure
thing?
What?
No, this happened several weeks ago, but the way, unfortunately, his death fell, we never really got to talk about it on the main show. I did something with Lance on the World Class show. We never got to talk about it on the main show. R.I.P. Terry Funk. Like, it just fell like the next day after we recorded, and then there's a lot going on, and we never really got to talk about Terry Funk, one of the greatest of all time. His 89 run in WCW is phenomenal. When he comes in and he's chiseled and looks great, and he's 44 years old or so at the time, and he has these phenomenal matches with Flair and cuts these fantastic promos. We never got to talk about R.I.P. Terry Funk.
I heard Road Dogg he kind of eulogized Terry, and he said, well, there was this time in Smoky Mountain where he was coming in and he called me and all my brothers a bunch of bastards and called my mother a whore.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? They want him canceled nowadays for that.
Yeah, he goes, he called my whole family a bunch of names and it was tremendous.
Yeah, he went off on the Armstrongs. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Well, I got a bigger question than Terry Funk dying. Harper, how have you been?
There's no such thing.
Smashing ass?
Come on. So we're just going to gloss over Terry Funk?
Come on, Doc.
Well, to hear about
you don't have to be a return.
I need to.
Talk about you. What are you talking about? No, talk about Terry Funk, Doc.
Well, I mean, tell me a guy who has done as many different things, and they were all badass. Like, how many different phases of his career did he have? And, like, all of them were good.
Yeah.
He was the one old guy, or the first old guy, that with ECW was like, throw all the rules out. Let's just do it, kids. Like he was the old guy of the. You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
old was he when
He gets a pass for doing some crazy shit up in that bingo hall from all the old timers who hate other things.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, Doc's
I
got a
don't
point.
have
If you're gonna
a
be
problem with
real,
it, but I'm saying, I
don't have a problem with it either.
I love current wrestling whenever it comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
On a serious note, R.I.P. Terry Funk. Lance and I spent a lot of time talking about him on one of the last World Class casts. If you want to listen to it there on Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Speaking of patrons, Dave H., new patron. Thank you for signing up, becoming a patron. Enjoy all those patron exclusive shows. God, there's 400 plus now. WCW pay-per-view, Clash of the Champions. All of it's there. The World Class shows, NWA Power shows, ECW shows, all available on Patreon. Harper and I did an hour on the whole CM Punk fiasco. That's what I'll call it. The other night. That's on Patreon now as well. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. And the annual NFL prediction show, which I'm not giving out spoilers, but Doc and Half Pint were insufferable on Patreon on that show.
Has that come out yet?
I dropped Sunday night the 3rd.
Man, I got to tell you that one pick I made in the NFC, and it's not the Cowboys, but that one pick I made, I really kind of want that one back. You have to tune in. You have to become a patron to find out who, but
there you go. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Okay, you were about to ask Harper how he's doing, so go ahead.
Yeah, Harper, how you been, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I'm doing great. I've been hanging out with.
I heard you've been out there buying expired beers.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking good.
Man.
Well, see, the thing is, you gotta look this shit up before you buy it.
Okay.
And it stays good 6 to 9 months past the date. But if it's refrigerated, they said it can last up to freaking 2 years.
See, okay, so I get this text from Mike, and he's like, fucking Harper's out here drinking diseased beers and shit. And I'm like, that all sounds right. Beer's not going to go bad on you like you think it will.
Right. Yeah, Mike.
I mean, the shit's been Beechwood aged to begin with. That's a selling point.
Yeah.
He's once again lying and mischaracterizing what I told him, but that's what he does. He lies.
Hey, I'm just saying that if you can get a 24-pack of beer for $11, and it's a
tall
brand
boys.
Yeah. I'm saying that if it's 3 months over the expired date, you'd be a fool not to partake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just so you know, this is not what he was saying when I told him this, Harper.
That's not true. I said beer ain't going to go bad like that.
Okay, what did you say about the expired cereal then?
Well, that's a little different. That's gross.
Okay. And what did you
Are you going to have some blueberry in November?
Yeah.
Harper,
Probably
I hate,
by this time next year.
I hate
I'll still be having that shit.
Right. I hate to rehash this. Can you tell them about the hot dogs you were talking about last week or week before, whenever it was?
Remember, Doc, remember those hot dogs with had the chili or that fake ass cheese? That was in the middle?
There is no more American product than that.
Yeah. I bought a pack and Tiffany made me throw it out.
So did you try it before she made you throw it out?
Nah, I just chunked it. It was one of those things where I bought it. I'm like, why the fuck did I? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It had the fucking cheese in the middle.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's like, remember Steakums?
Yeah.
What was? Oh, those were those little sandwiches, right? That you would put like in a microwave.
What about Sizzling? Y'all remember Sizzling?
That fucking fake bacon shit?
That shit was nasty.
My mom used to buy that when it first. I mean, I'm talking about 40 years ago.
Move over, bacon. It's Sizzling.
Let's just say it didn't have staying power.
Hey, man, what it ought to make you ask is, why did they let this shit in our food supply?
Because the manufacturers write big checks.
There you go. But the point is there's so much preservatives in all of this shit we eat that the expiration dates are only good for like dairy and shit.
Right. If you're buying meat, you buying something like that, like a pack of steaks and ground meat or milk or something, that's different. But that fucking that cereal can last forever.
If you knew what was in the shit to begin with, you wouldn't eat it. But since you don't, it'll be good forever.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, just lie to me. Just lie to me. It's part of a balanced breakfast, you asshole.
It sure is. Balance these nuts on your chin.
Back in the saddle again.
Yeah. So, I guess I should tell everybody as little as I can about where I've been for the past however long this has been. Seems like forever. So, Mike, the last time you and I were really kicking it, we kicked it pretty hard that Friday afternoon where we created all that wonderful patron content, right?
We did 4 shows, which means we recorded, if you added those shows all up, probably about 4.5 hours.
God damn.
We had steaks, and we were drinking booze and beer, and Mike was calling people back home. He called some brother back home and was playing Led Zeppelin at top volume over the phone to him. We called Lance.
Oh.
I talked to Lance for the first time. We were having a great time. I mean, I told Mrs. Doc that it was the greatest day in our podcast, but the only one thing was missing, and it was the Harper wasn't here. But other than that, we had so much fun. And by the end, when I was like really hitting my stride, we reviewed a match, and I don't remember watching it, and I can only imagine how slurred I was getting mad at Mike because he didn't like the match, and he's a dick. So anyway, we have this super time. We're like, man, we should be podcast stars. I love you, man. Kind of drunk. Just it was a magical day. None of my electric eels stung Mike on the way in over the moat, and my security guard was nice to him this time on the way in.
Oh.
But then, no. But life has a way of happening. So a couple of things. I'm gonna make a short little PSA here, and Harper, you need to listen up. Harper, you're 45 now, aren't you?
I'm 46.
Okay, so have you scheduled your first colonoscopy?
No.
It's time.
Yeah.
So I did the little poop in a cup thing. What's that commercial they have? Cologuard?
Yeah. Will you just
I did that.
mail your shit in?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I was supposed to do it a year ago, but I couldn't bring myself to shit in a cup. So I just never did it. And
Get your shit in.
Yeah, you should really do that. And I'm like, okay, well, send me another one and I'll do it. And it comes back and they're like, well, your shit's positive. And I'm like, uh-oh. So while I'm waiting for the American health system to get me in for a colonoscopy, we get the whole, how do I want to position this? I'll say workplace instability. How about that?
Yeah.
Job uncertainty. And everything's fine now. The moral of the story is I'm good. But then you start looking at these things and the additive nature of, well, if I have death from the inside and I don't have any insurance, what's going to happen? So I got a colonoscopy. And they found some things up in my guts or whatever it is. Turns out they were non-cancerous, though. But that's where I've been. And so then all I got to say is here's my doc PSA for y'all. Get your colonoscopy because we can't lose any more listeners. And then I would suggest everybody here but Mullet of Morton, because, I mean, you don't really need a resume to drive a forklift. But everybody, these are uncertain times. Just update your resume in case you need it. That's a good advice. If it's been a while, take a look at it. Get your skills on there. And then, on top of all this, while this has all been happening, my life's like falling apart. It's been 125 degrees. Right, Mike?
It's ridiculous.
It's been the worst summer of all time. Like, I actually legitimately have a slab leak in my foundation right now that they're coming tomorrow to look at, because every piece of everything on my property is moving around because you can't put enough water on it. You just can't. Then I have Harper. How many children do I have?
You got 2, huh?
I have 2. That's right. Good job. Guess how many soccer leagues they're in right now?
Oh my God.
Combined. No,
combined,
combined.
I would say, let's see, 4 to 5.
5 leagues.
Damn.
With the potential for a 6th.
Jesus.
Yeah, to help it pick up games. Little Latrell upped his game this summer and picked up a new team. We were driving 10 minutes to practice twice a week. We now drive 35 minutes each way 3 times a week.
Jesus Christ.
So everything sometimes, and here's my last bit of the PSA. So get your resume updated, get your colonoscopy scheduled if it's time. And then the other thing is Mike and I legitimately, I mean, we come on here and bicker, but Mike and I had a hell of a day. We did everything but make out. We had so much fun. You got to learn as you get older to appreciate those times. Because then like 3 days later, everything was turned to shit and crazy. That's all I'm going to say is enjoy the downtime. That's it. Mike, don't you agree?
Yeah.
Now that everybody's like, oh man, we've been tough on Doc. Let me tell y'all, sons of bitches, something. That's all over. I'm good. Everything's worked out for the best, and football season is starting. My Cowboys are going 17-0. All your teams are going to suck this year. I hope everybody on your football team gets hurt.
That's
and
nice.
we're going the whole way. Back to you, Mike.
I was on mute, dying over here. Okay.
So what time do you have to start the soccer practice? Like, is it as soon as they get home? It's like go from school?
The boys started junior high this year because it's a year early based on whatever he's in, the school district and the way they do it. He gets home at 4:40 from school, and we leave the house at 10 after 5.
God damn, dude.
And I got home 5 minutes before y'all called me.
And then you got to drive 30-something miles away. As soon as he walks in from school, he probably takes a shit. He eats a Pop-Tart or something. Then he just changes to his clothes and go soccer.
Yes.
You're a helicopter parent.
That's not whatever you think that means, I don't think is correct. Now, the other thing is, and Mike, you'll love this because I haven't even had a chance to tell you this. So this will have already come out. This will already have happened. But Mike, could you tell the listeners when the Cowboys play their season opener this weekend?
I don't know.
You know?
They're not on prime time. What is it, 12 or 3 on Sunday?
No. We're on prime time.
Oh, it is? Okay.
How
would I know? I don't look at y'all's schedule.
We're waiting all day for Sunday night. Right?
Oh, it's a Sunday night game?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the only reason I thought.
What time does that game usually kick off?
It's 7, right?
7:30.
Yeah.
7:15, 7:20, what's something like that.
My daughter has her first game of her second league at 7 o'clock on Sunday night.
That's
thoughts and prayers.
Stupid.
I was like, is this a rib?
Yeah.
This is a rib.
It's a rib.
Rib. Everything's a rib is what I've learned this summer.
Everything's a rib. Everything's a rib.
Long story short is that I had to take some time to go get some shit in order. I do appreciate Crockett stepping in on short notice and filling in these considerable shoes of mine. I apologize to the listeners for the irreparable damage he did to our show and its reputation by not being me, but there's nothing we could do about that. Mike wasn't sure that Harper would talk enough to fill in the gap and be a 2-man booth, but we've learned tonight that if you get Harper drunk and talk about CM Punk, it'll be fine.
I was wondering what was going on. He sure was talking a lot on the CM Punk episode. He wouldn't shut up. He was getting his shit in. I was like, man, if Harper did this more often, we could, he and I could do shows together like it's nothing. Go ahead.
Now I don't have to worry about missing AEW ever again.
Well,
I got nothing to say. I've said my piece about
no.
it.
What
I mean,
you
if you
talking
want
about?
to say something about that promotion, feel free. I've got no further comment at this time, Your Honor.
They're not serious about wrestling.
I don't. You know, your statement right there is making me fear for my safety.
Well,
Oh no.
yeah.
Well, I would love to get you to a safe space backstage somewhere where you can clean out your pussy.
Whoa.
What?
Maybe CM Punk turned into a White Walker.
Let's go. All right.
Hey, that's what happened.
Doc, you boy, I didn't expect you to go that long. We do have some 5-star reviews. I'm pulling them up right now.
Let's hear them. I
Podcast
love
Addict.
to hear those. Those are always fun.
All right. So the first one comes from Bark Dog 420. He says,
Oh, that
she,
means he likes to bark like a dog and then smoke weed.
need more 5-star review, says need more stars to give a proper review. 10 stars for always entertaining and making an old school wrestling fan laugh. Keep on with the awesome reviews and the random non-wrestling talk that makes BTT BTT. Keep on cranking out great shows.
Whoa.
Thank you, Bark Dog 420. We appreciate that. Another one from a Bad Name Pro. Bad Name Pro says they have a great balance of wrestling analysis and talking about stupid nonsense that resonates with a fan like me. Booking the Territory talks wrestling the way we did before the internet. The BTT guys remind me of family, like listening to me and my brother talk wrestling. And if you've never had a wrestling argument without a keyboard, it's hard to articulate how awesome that is. There's a lot of truth to that, boy.
Boy, there is a lot of wisdom in that. I wonder if he went and got somebody smart to type that up for him. Come on.
Come on.
See, now you want to be funny. But this is true. So many people on keyboards nowadays.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah, including us. We have plenty of them. What are we saying here?
Yeah, but we bought equipment so that it would sound good.
Can we talk about some wrestling now?
Hey, what happened, man? I watched this episode and it seems like a lot's changed.
All right. So on that note, we'll finally get into Saturday night. This is WCW Saturday Night on TBS from March the 28th, 1992. This taping is the second half of the taping that took place March 18th, 1992 at Center Stage. In the opening of the show, we see a replay of Vader and Sting that we saw last week. And then JR bored me from the beginning when he said we would see the Red Hot Z-Man today. It kind of just killed the hard-on for this episode. Z-Man. Anyway, but we saw Vader attacking Sting. Doc, any thoughts on this? I mean, it's a replay, but you
Vader,
weren't here.
Yeah, Vader became my favorite wrestler during that little bit right there.
I bet you loved it, huh?
It was nice.
Nice. That's really kind of you. Then I've got a promo to play from Marcus Alexander Bagwell, which I don't know why I'm playing it, but he says something in it that I was like, what? Here it is.
They say down south, sometimes you got to get off the porch to hunt with the big dogs, and you're going hunting for a big dog here today in Ravishing Rick Rude.
Well, let me tell you something, Jim. I can't tell you one thing I'm excited as to be. I have great fans behind me. I'm going up against a great competitor, Rick Rude. Now, let me tell you something, Rick. I'm the young dog on that porch, but I'm coming after you. I'm going to do the best I can. You're a great competitor, and I'm happy to be in the WCW. I'm coming after you.
All right, best of luck to Marcus Alexander Bagwell against Ravishing Rick Rude later in this hour. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go up to my good friend, Rhubarb Jones.
He's a young dog, but he's coming for Rude. Okay. Meat and potatoes. I don't know why. It just was a weird promo. Doc, any thoughts?
It's just baby face. I mean, it's just kid stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every dog needs a bone to chew on. I think I found my bone.
You know what I started thinking for the first 25 minutes of this episode? Where's Ric Flair?
I don't know, man. The shows ain't been bad. What you think, Harper?
He got stuck in a bathroom.
Right. The shows ain't been bad, though, right, Harper?
No. It's not been bad.
Yeah, we've seen much worse,
Hey,
to
I
be honest.
did. Just to get myself going here, about a week ago, I watched Super Brawl. which
Yeah.
made me think. I wonder if I watched more of Super Brawl than Harper did.
Oh boy.
Well, he watched it with us. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's true. I watched that.
yeah. Matter of fact,
He wasn't sure though. You hear that?
So let me tell you. Let me catch you up. So did you see the Ninja get involved in Steamboat's match?
No. Wait. Yes.
Okay. So the Ninja appears 2 weeks before Super Brawl on Saturday night, and he's Ricky Steamboat's Ninja. And then he appears again the week before Super Brawl, the Ninja. Mm-hmm. And then at Super Brawl, the Ninja hits Ricky Steamboat with a phone that looks like Paulie's.
Yeah.
And then they go backstage, and it's Paulie in a ninja outfit, and Paulie still says, "I'm not the ninja," whatever. Harper, since that moment in time, wants to know what happened to the original ninja that was with Steamboat 2 weeks before Super Brawl, and he can't get past it. He just keeps wanting to know, where's the ninja? Who was the ninja? And I'm like, Harper, they just did it for that angle. No, there was no ever intention of identifying who the real quote unquote ninja was. He wouldn't let it go. He's like a kid. He wouldn't leave me alone. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. You should have heard him, Doc. He wouldn't stop.
Maybe Bonnie said no.
Maybe. I don't know.
But there was a real ninja.
See?
How do you know it was a real ninja? Anybody could put a sock on their head.
Yeah, but I mean, Ricky Steamboat wouldn't lie.
Here he goes. I'm telling you. He wouldn't let you go. This
so what
led
happened?
to...
I've certainly missed this.
See, he's still talking about it. He doesn't want to let it go, Doc. What happened to him?
Yeah, I mean, for real, when the fuck is he?
Maybe the ninja
was not the original ninja.
Maybe the ninja stole all the ring aprons so that we couldn't properly advertise our promotion.
On that note, we go to Van Hammer versus Randy Starr. Jim Ross gives us the hard sell on JT Southern and Van Hammer's feud potentially heating up. Doc, you got any timestamps from this match before I go to the finish of it?
I could seriously considered what was I doing coming back at this point.
So Hammer does the stomp that irritates the hell out of me.
If you were just gonna book this, and you had this fella coming in that's Van Hammer, and let's just say it's not a complete and total abortion, but we're gonna try to do this the right way. Where would you make him from, Harper?
From Hollywood Boulevard, maybe.
100%. Yeah, Venice Beach.
Yeah.
Your answer was certainly kind of online what I was thinking about. They built this asshole from New York City.
New York City?
Exactly. Get a rope.
Pecani sauce. Get a rope. Yeah. Well, so Hammer wins, does the stomp, hits the Hammer Rock suplex, a slingshot suplex. And I woke up when it was finally over. I really hate this damn gimmick. Now, I'm going to play a promo. And then, Doc, I need to tell you something that Crockett said last week, which I think you're going to agree with.
I think JT Southern came out and just completely blew the gimmick up real quick.
Okay, let's go to the promo. Van Hammer is with Eric Bischoff ringside after his win over Randy Starr. Here it is.
Ringside with one of the rising stars in WCW heavy metal, Van Hammer. And Van Hammer, you told me once that the youth of America is very important to you, but you put your money and your time where your mouth is. I know you're so busy in the community, helping out anytime that you can. It's got to be very gratifying for you.
You know, what we do in the ring is very important, but what we do out of the ring is very important too. And nothing makes me happier than to spend time with kids in hospitals and in high school.
Yeah.
No problem. I just want to ask you one question, man. You got that guitar? I got one. I can do stuff like, what can you do? Can you play that thing? I want to know. The fans of WCW want to know. That's all, man. Can you play? Just can you play that guitar? Tell me. First of all, Eric, I'm sorry for the interruption. And I heard this guy's name is what? JT Southern? Well, what does JT stand for? Just talk? Is it just talk? Because wrestling is my business. And I do it well, and I do it in the ring. If he wants conflict with me, he can do it in the ring, in a wrestling match, in front of these fans.
Van Hammer accepting the challenge. Stay with us, fans. We'll be back with more on WCW right after this.
So
he's not wrong.
I'm supposed to believe this guy is doing community outreach in hospitals and high school. And then JT Southern breaks up the promo. Southern says, "You can actually play that thing."
That was dirty what he did to him.
The crowd is chanting Hammer, and Southern says, "Can you play instead of playing?" So, Doc, thoughts on the promo, and then I'll tell you something Crockett said that makes total sense about this feud.
The only outreach that Hammer's doing is he's giving out his own version of colonoscopies down on the Sunset Strip, if you know what I mean.
That's nice.
What?
You got any thoughts on this shit, Harper?
Here's the thing. They shouldn't. They threw that kid. Look, nobody here likes Hammer. We can't stand this. But if you're going to do it, you can't send him out there and then just completely take his legs out from under him.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? We didn't get over. Well, maybe because you didn't give him a chance in hell.
Yeah, they buried his ass just now. That's like having someone like a real veteran come out. Hey, Sergeant Slaughter, were you even a real Marine? Show me your credentials.
Right.
Show me some pictures of you in a uniform. Show me something. Well, these fans believe in me.
So Crockett brought this up last week, Doc, when JT Hammer first cut a promo. He's like,
who?
JT Southern first cut a promo. Crockett's like, hold on. So JT Southern can actually play the guitar, but Hammer can't. But Hammer's the babyface. So what's the end goal of this? Like, Crockett brought it up right away. He's like,
well, and the other thing is they picked the wrong guy to be the babyface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the babyface who has got a body of, he looks good, don't get me wrong. But he just there's nothing likable about him. He can't play the guitar, but Southern can, and Southern's the heel. And everything. See, the thing is, go back to the old premise. Heels tell lies. Right. JT Southern is not lying at all.
Right. He's out there telling the truth. If Hammer would have ripped off a lick, like a Warren D. Martini lick, like lay it down or something around and around, that would have been, he would have had a chance to get over at that point, no matter how shit he is. But he just stood there and ate a shit sandwich.
He got buried.
Buried.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers, dog.
Thoughts and prayers. That's
all right.
Harper does.
He fucking punked him out.
He did.
Pretty bad.
And because he couldn't play the guitar, he couldn't defend himself.
Right. It's like going up to him. Are you really a fireman?
Here, we're gonna set the studio on fire and watch you put it out.
Here's the hose. Get to work, dickhead.
Bro.
Oh, God, baby.
No, I gotta play some audio from this. Or maybe not play the audio, but I got some thoughts on this as we talk about it. Any other thoughts on the whole Van Hammer JT Southern thing before we keep going?
Just he's terrible and then got done wrong. What do you make of this?
Yeah. How can this be a positive situation?
Exactly. Way to talk about your feelings.
Boogie, nothing about you says computer or technology. Oh boy,
And then my next note was these guys are still here.
We haven't seen them we haven't seen them in a while, Harper.
They're half the reason I left.
Let's continue. The Patriots, Firebreaker Chip and Todd Champion take on Chris Sullivan and Bob Cook. As they're coming to the ring, Firebreaker Chip is slapping hands and he is holding a baby going to the ring, but the baby is terrified. Look at this kid. He's terrified. Keep that in mind. More on this baby later on in the show, I believe. This kid, look at this kid. He's terrified. The mom's like, give me my baby back. Oh, man. Thoughts on this match, Doc? Let me go to you.
I had none.
You have none? I mean, I'm not surprised.
Wait. That's not true.
Okay.
I had one. At the end, the match is sponsored by Alka-Seltzer. You know what that means?
It means fast relief.
But this match was no fast relief.
By the way, have we talked about relief lately on the show? I don't think so. We got into a great discussion about Crockett. Crockett literally said during this show, he says, this is my, he was straight shooting, Harper, was he not?
Yeah.
He said, I love doing this with you guys. This is my me time.
Did he get his flowers for that?
Because he got 2 young kids. And,
trust me.
And then me and Harper started.
Maybe he and I should have a show together. We'd never be able to record.
Well, the rumor is there's going to be a show on Patreon coming out called Me Time with Mike Crockett. Then he starts talking about, Harper starts ribbing him. He's like, oh, what do your me time? Next, you're going to be doing bath bombs with those big balls that you drop in the bathtub.
Let the guy live. Come on.
It was fun. We get a big flying elbow.
Can you imagine getting to sit in the big chair for a week? How fun that must be for people who don't get to do it.
Oh, and he got to do it for like 6 or 7.
I know. If you'd have been smart,
fun.
You'd have raffled that off in behind the paywall, but whatever.
He had fun. Crockett loved it, man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could just go ahead and quit.
No, you're
maybe we should do a second show.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Now there's no reason to talk crazy.
Big flying back elbow by champion, and the Patriots win in the snooze fest. We then go
fast
relief.
Doc. It's to the rescue. It means it's over.
Salsa to the rescue.
All right, we got Gomer Pyle here tonight. WCW Magazine segment with Eric Bischoff is next. They throw to WCW Pro with Jim Ross asking Nikita about what is going on with him. Nikita really doesn't answer why he was at Super Brawl. They just like, hey, what was your purpose at Super Brawl? And he doesn't really say. Then they throw to a replay from last week of Rude attacking Steamboat, and then Steamboat saying, nah, bruh, and choking Rude and hanging him. We hung a man last week, Doc, because we do that in wrestling.
Never a bad idea.
In wrestling. Let's
in wrestling, sorry.
Yes, in wrestling.
Let me clean that up a little bit.
But we did talk about how it was a crime, and when it happened in Continental, Birmingham's finest is just standing there looking at Dr. Tom getting hung.
They're probably like, well, was it just another Tuesday?
Right. Jesus Christ.
Man, we could stop this, but then we'd have to do paperwork.
Man, I mean, it's just the whole thing. I remember talking to Bo James years ago, and he was like, I hated that about that angle. I was like, what? He goes, the Birmingham cop is just standing there watching a murder attempt. Like, you're just killing the angle. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. No. Anyway, they go to the WCW main event discussing the U.S. tag title situation with Valentine and Taylor and Zink.
That's new.
Yeah, that is new. You were not here when all that went down. And then Bischoff pumps up Bagwell, and then they take a fan question about the Steiners, asking them if the Steiners need a manager, and Rick Steiner says, no, we don't need a manager. That is
Missy.
And that's not happening, so there's that. Doc, you weren't here. Any thoughts on, I know this is replays, but any thoughts on Steamboat hanging Rude and everything that went down?
Well, that's great because those two guys are awesome. Obviously. Bischoff, it just gets worse week by week.
So, I don't know if I feel that way, but Crockett made a good point. They pivoted, they were starting to set something up with Rude and Sting because Rude attacked Sting after the press.
And now they just pivoted away all of a sudden.
They went right. And I get it. Vader, it's not that Vader's chopped liver and shouldn't be challenging Sting. I get it. But it was just it was weird how they did that quick change of direction.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah. Harper
Right
can answer.
now in the promotion, how old is Greg Valentine?
We talked about this that night, and I don't remember.
His late 30s, huh? Mid to late 30s.
He's 40.
What is he, Doc?
Oh.
Yeah,
40.
remember when we talked about it the night that he debuted? 40. He looks good. He always looked like Throw Mama from the Train, but he looks good. Like,
come on.
He
looks
overweight.
like he's ready to take his girls to the regional finals in volleyball this year at the local high school.
He's going to take his kids to the local Six Flags.
All right. Oh boy. Okay. Any other thoughts on the magazine segment, Doc?
So we have U.S. titles back in play, I guess. Did the Freebirds have them? Is that what that was?
Oh, bruh, I'm not about to recap how much of a mess that was. We talked about this, Harper.
That's
remember?
fine. I don't really care.
Yeah.
No, it's a mess, dude. The way they did the free.
Oh my God!
If I tried to explain the lineage of the U.S. titles with the Southern Boys and Ron Simmons and Big Josh having them for a second, and then you heard me right, and then Valentine and Taylor got it from Simmons and Big Josh. It was aired like in this weird sequence, out of sequence, like a month after it all happened. I can't even explain it because it was so absurd. We talked about it for like 3 weeks straight on the show. That's how bad it was.
It makes no sense. So let's just keep moving.
Yeah, it was a mess. Now, I'm not Valentine and Taylor. I think are fine, but the way they got there was just stupidity.
Yeah.
We go to Dustin Rhodes versus Greg Sawyer. Boy, this ends pretty quick. But your thoughts, Doc?
Z-Man's out on color commentary, which means it's a snooze fest.
I be feeling bad talking about Z-Man sometimes, but then I'm like, then I hear him on commentary.
He doesn't even speak like a normal person. He just takes these weird pauses. Like this.
Yeah, what the fuck's the point of this match? It's over.
Dustin Rhodes got to win. That's the point of it. You know,
why is Z-Man out? Why is Z-Man out?
I got no answer for you, man. I mean, what do you want me to say? Dustin Rhodes wins rather quickly, Bulldog. Then we go to Jim Ross, who throws to a replay of last week when Vader attacks Sting, and Vader no-sells a chair shot, which I thought was good. He power slams Sting. Then they show a promo, and I can't remember if it's the same one from last week or not, the promo. But we get a promo from Vader, and Vader basically says, "I fear no man, and I feel no pain." And I think we talked about that. But, Doc, any thoughts on that promo? I wasn't going to play it because I thought it was a replay.
I thought it was all right. You know, I mean, here's the thing, man. He kicked the shit out of Sting, and it's like, okay, well, this would have been cool if they'd have just had him come in like this. But I realized why they didn't. I mean, he was still making money over in Japan, but it would have been nice, right?
Yeah.
This fool shows up on your TV, you have no idea who he is, and he kicks the shit out of Sting. It would make a big impression.
I mean, just go back to the first time we saw him a few years ago with the headgear when he comes in.
Yes, I'm going to take off this mask, and I'm going to kick the living shit out of the champ. And it's on.
Then they showed the footage from. Remember when they showed the footage from him with Japan with the headgear?
Yeah, that was badass.
And then he destroys Tom Zink either on a Clash or a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
it was great. It was really great.
It
anyway,
was.
It was.
No,
it was
I mean, here's the thing. Coming back into this, my whole thing was, so Vader's in now and not Rick Rude. And in rewatching this, I would have put Rude in that spot, but maybe not. I don't know.
Against Sting?
Yeah, I would have kept that going. I think Rick Rude and Sting. I think Rick Rude is the kind of guy who can bring out a lot in Sting. We've already seen that. And we've all agreed that Sting didn't get the best luck in terms of opponents unless he was facing Flair.
I don't even pretend to know the decision making, but I know who the champ is after Sting, and I know who the champ is after that later this year.
Is it Flair?
No.
You know who. You're just what I was getting at was I don't know when the decision was made to pivot to Vader. I'm sure somebody can tell me out there. DM Harper. He loves this type of stuff.
DM to Mudshow Mike at twitter.com.
I spend so little time on Twitter. But you got the guy that wins it from the guy who beat Sting. I feel like it's more impactful, but than if it was Rude. Not insulting Rude at all, but I don't know, man.
Sounds like an insult to me.
Actually, I think Rude kind of. Let me say this. As history is told, Rude technically was never a world champion. So Rude.
How was that?
He was like the international champion.
Oh yeah, that's
when
right.
they had the thing. Yeah. Right. So Rude, if you'd have put Sting in that feud, or if you'd have put Rude in that feud, and Rude would have been the one to take the belt for Sting, it still had world title status at that time. Rude would have technically been a world champion in his career. WCW.
Yeah, okay. I would have done that. I don't
know, man. It's just I got the matches. The Sting don't have it long. I don't know if that's a spoil anyone, but the matches
that's a good thing.
The matches, like I think the Vader Sting matches are good to me, especially the one at the
run it back. I need it right here. I got a timestamp.
Yeah, we're watching Cactus Jack versus Danny Poston now. Go ahead, Doc. What you got?
31:05. Did Poston actually hurt his nuts when he helped out of the ring out here? He starts playing with his nuts when he hits the ground.
Oh.
You know, sometimes you could just land wrong and it jolts.
Yeah. I felt like he was pawing at his sack a little too long for
That's
just.
He's still fucking with his balls.
See?
These are the balls you're looking for.
Yeah, I felt like he started massaging his sack right there.
I don't know which one of y'all just said that, but he's like, he's pawing at his balls. He really was. Well, he wouldn't stop to.
I know. It's like, dude, can we either get the camera off of him, or can we get him to stop just
pawing at his
balls? Sack.
That's nice.
These are the balls you're looking for. We get a double underhook DDT and Cactus wins. Any thoughts, Doc?
Okay, so at the beginning of the match, JR was talking about Cactus reminding him of the parents or the parents who have the honor student. My kid is an honor student down at such and such school, and something about Cactus Jack's parents, what kind of sticker they would have. But I was thinking, Harper, what do you think of those people that you see on their minivan and shit that are like, my little Timmy is an honor student at the junior high.
I hope to
you like that?
Off a bridge. No, it's stupid.
It is.
With the Rummel sticker or the Brother Martin sticker. I'm a Jesuit grandma. Who gives a shit?
That's the right answer. He's not wrong.
Who gives a fuck where your kid goes to school at?
It's fucking public school and it's 4th grade. Ain't nothing unless they shoot somebody at the school. Ain't nothing happening memorable or meaningful.
I mean, we got a really good promo here. Though.
Learn how to read and move on to the next grade.
Let's go to Cactus Jack, who's with Bischoff. He's going to cut a promo ringside after his match. Here it is.
Thanks, Jim, and I will be careful, and I may need a lot more than luck with Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack, I want to talk about Sunday, April 12th. In addition to the 5 championship matches, you were signed in what is in effect a rematch with Ron Simmons. And when I talked to Ron Simmons last week, he said he was going to take it to the streets. He's in his own hometown in Atlanta.
Well, that's fine and dandy, but let's not forget about tonight. Worcester, Massachusetts, the home of Bob Cousy, and very little else. Very little else. Johnny B. Bad and all the people in Worcester are going to find out real soon that what took place in that ring right there was merely an appetizer. Merely an appetizer in Cactus Jack's smorgasbord of human misery. Now let's talk about Sting. A great champion and a very nice man. As a matter of fact, what Big Van Vader did to him could not have happened to a nicer man. Could not have happened to a nicer man. And I will sit with hot dog in hand and watch Sting kiss the world championship goodbye. As far as Ron Simmons, Ron, you want to take it to the street. That's the only way the neighborhood bully wants it. And you got a friend walking around saying he needs a bone to chew on. Well, after I disassemble you piece by piece, the bone he chews on might very well be yours. Bang, 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 bang.
We'll be back to see the Z-Man take on Terrence Taylor right after this.
Crockett lives in that Worcester area, not too far, I believe. Anyway, I was good with that, and then we started talking about bones to chew on, and maybe he should chew on his own bone, or wait, what?
Yeah.
Doc, thoughts?
I felt like he was about to crack something open and have a kick-ass promo, and he just couldn't get there for some reason, and it probably happens, you know? They can't all be winners.
Harper, do you have a bone to chew on that you can help Cactus out with?
No, I was like, he's talking about JYD. Oh, no. The bone to chew on.
Hey, we never got to talk about this, so I'm going to say it. I like to make fun of Mike's, just about everything. But I didn't get a chance, I don't believe, to be on the dark side of the ring about JYD. And I thought it was a little unfair how they painted him as a guy that couldn't even lace his own boots when, certainly not Lou Thez. I never felt like JYD was that limited in the ring. Come on.
He wasn't. Go watch his matches in the early 80s. I felt like they
made him out to be kind of buffoonish for no reason. I mean, I don't know. That was just my take on it, and I didn't get a chance to at the time. So there you go. That's why I just want everybody to know I was still watching stuff,
Yeah, when he was in the early 80s in Mid-South, he could go. It's a fallacy, man. It's like a fake narrative that they've come up with.
Hey, you get fat and see how fast you can run. I mean, come on, it happens.
Yeah, it's true. All right, next match, Terry Taylor versus Z-Man.
Why?
Why not?
Is the York Foundation done?
Oh yeah. That's been gone.
That's history.
So when do we see Terry again? Is it
Terry
with Dustin?
Who? What are you talking about?
Terry Runnels.
Oh, I'm like, what?
We don't see her again until the Gold Dust shit, right?
No, I think, doesn't Dusty and Dustin fight over about this at one point?
So I need y'all to DM Doc.
Oh, yeah, do that. It's at 404filenotfound.com.
Shoot Doc an email, and I need you to let him know your thoughts on the question that Doc is asking right there.
I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks about what I don't know. That's exactly what I plan to stay up every night this week. Once they start coming in, I'll stay up. I'll pour over them. I'll make notes. I'll make sure they themes, so that I can present those back on the air.
If you DM Harper will get the message to Doc.
That's right. He'll send them over by carrier pigeon. Now, here's the one thing, and this is going to probably cull the herd just a little bit or a lot, is that if I find one misspelling or grammatical error, I will discard it from the analysis.
All right. On that note, you got any thoughts on the sleeping man, Mr. Ambien versus Terrence Taylor?
I wonder what Terry Taylor thinks about teaming with Valentine.
You think, hey.
He probably is like, I'm going to be this tailor-made thing. Flair's not around. I'll get to be Flair for a while. And they're like, no, you're going gonna team with Throw Mama from the Train.
You're gonna team with the Goonies mom, a villain.
Yeah.
He kind of talks like her too, if you think about it.
Well,
if you listen to Mama Fratelli, and then you listen to Valentine talk during this era, they kind of sound alike too.
Well, yeah.
Got a little gravelly voice. They really do. I'm not lying. Look it up.
Nobody's accusing you. That settle down. So, who's with Zinc now? Is it Bagwell? Is it?
Yeah, kind of.
Pillman?
I think it's Bagwell, right?
It's kind of Bagwell, yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have an official tag partner, but I guess, yeah.
Because nobody wants that job.
The dude is just boring.
Well, and here's the thing about that. He's getting more boring as time goes on.
I don't hate him. He just does nothing for me. Like Harper used to say, Al Perez, there was no sizzle to the steak. It's not even
Perez
that.
He was better than Tom Zink.
Right. I don't know. You got anything? I'm about to give the finish to this thing.
No, I ain't got a damn thing. I don't care.
All right. Super kick by Z-Man.
Why am I coming back? This show sucks.
Okay. I don't know about that, but
fucking wrestling's stupid.
Super kick by Z-Man. Taylor kicks out. Z-Man gets dumped to the floor. Valentine's about to jump Z-Man on the outside, but Bagwell runs out and stops it. What happened? Did Harper drop or something?
Yeah. He agrees with me. Wrestling's stupid.
We'll keep going. I bet you got
Wrestling's
disconnected.
not stupid. Everybody calm down.
Last week
wrestling.
Doc likes wrestling. Last week his Wi-Fi died or something. But he'll join us back. We've done this long enough. All right. So Valentine, anyway, Z-Man hits a missile drop kick off top and Z-Man wins. Blah blah blah.
Doc, good job, Z-Man.
We go to Dusty Rhodes, and man, I don't know how I feel about this. I want to play it so we can talk about it.
Okay.
Here it is.
Welcome back, everyone, to WCW. Light heavyweights will be in action in a few moments, but right now let's hear the comments from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
This is Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and you know there's a new bull of the woods. There's a new bull in the pasture. And occasionally they call on me for my services as a spokesman, if you will, in public. Van Vader is 440 pounds. He's the new bull in the pasture. There's a new king on the throne. There's a new ruler in the universe. There's a new man that stands alone at the top of the heap, and that's the Stinger. How do you call it? Who is got the upper hand? Is it 440 pounds of the new bull, Big Van Vader? Or is it the Stinger that will rule the throne? I say this for Van Vader. He possesses the speed of a gazelle at that weight. He possesses the strength of 1,000 and a million men. He's got a tongue as long as the Nile River. Sting has the hopes, the dreams of every child that paints his face. That every child around the country that he calls the little Stingers look up to. Sting, if I have one thing to say to you, son, the battle has just begun. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. But will you reign king for long? Vader holds the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first.
I mean, Doc, I got thoughts, but what did you think about that?
Harper's back.
Hey.
Hey. In a vacuum, it's fine because it's Dusty being Dusty. But
I need to see your face, Harper. You can turn the video off.
What am I doing?
You're on camera. I'm gonna have to take off my pants if you don't stop.
I'm about to give me some relief up in this piece.
I lost my thoughts. The Superstar was on, and I got flustered. I got fussy.
He's getting jiggy with it.
So anyway,
you don't know how to turn it off.
I felt like Dusty wanted to go out and connect, and in the process has never sounded older. That was an old promo. And it was kind of Dusty trying to play Dusty because he doesn't have an issue to like really get into. So it's not terrible because he's willing to go out there and shuck and jive, but it wasn't helpful, really.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, it's Dusty, so you don't really want to be too mean, but it just feels like an older wrestler thinking that the new, younger talent needs him so to get over it. And at the end of the day, you just got to trust Sting, who, I mean, it's 1992 at this point. He's not a 10-year veteran, but you know, he's shown that he can do it. And you got Vader, somebody who's accomplished as well. Like, it's like Dusty feels like he needs to help Sting and Vader, but I don't think he realized they don't need him. Like, they don't need him cutting promos is what I'm saying. His knowledge in the back is great.
Yeah,
you don't really need him out there cutting promos for these two guys. Maybe Sting,
and the reason his promos worked is because he was getting, and I'm not just saying this, like the hard times. It was because he was involved in a personal situation that brought out his best promos. This was not it.
Yeah, I agree. Harper, you dropped right when we were playing Dusty.
But y'all sounded like it was output. What the fuck? Both of y'all did. So I just turned it off and I restarted it.
Oh,
panic.
Great.
Now, if we could just do that before the show starts, perhaps we'd be onto something. But that's that's our strategic plan for year 10.
We're almost there.
Good God. What are we doing?
All right.
No.
I don't know.
Where the fuck's Crockett at?
I don't know. Coming out to the ring is Young Pistol Steve versus Johnny B. Bad. And remember I talked about the baby earlier?
Yes.
All right. Well, I got to play some. Look at this woman.
I need to talk about all of these women here. So let's.
Okay.
Just listen to the audio here in a second.
Can you run it back about 15 seconds? Yeah, these three. Look at these three.
They look like they're from fucking designing women.
Look at these first three.
Hold on, I'll pause it when it gets to it.
Right there.
We go.
Oh, God. Okay. They're like receptionists.
That one on the right looks like Carrot Top.
Yeah. Or she's a school teacher or a receptionist. That one there looks like a squire boy or something.
But look at the titty hanging out on the far right there, trying to poke out.
Oh, look at that, Mike.
No, that does nothing for me.
Oh, whatever.
Pour some chocolate milk on it, you'll be fine.
You'll be all right.
Y'all are assholes.
This
ain't funny. All right, this is all amusing and stuff. All these women appear to be of age, by the way.
That's why I said it.
Good.
I want y'all to pay attention. So this woman, look at this baby. She's like got the baby hanging over the barricade. And it's like, you're not holding a doll, woman.
You know what she's trying to find, right? She's trying to add water and find a daddy.
Yeah.
She looks like Michael Jackson holding a baby over the balcony.
Yeah.
So,
here, sign its face. Autograph its head, but watch out because it's still soft and it hasn't fully hardened.
Listen to the audio from JR here.
A little kiss that don't miss. That baby's had a pretty rough night.
Johnny loves you, baby. Come watch WCW.
I guess that's the designated baby for this week. Been passed around for the patrons of Johnny B. Bad. Beautiful baby, though.
That kid looked like
profile picture.
that kid looked like every man I've ever met when his broad's telling him how her day was by the end.
Harper, you want that to be your profile picture?
Oh yeah.
You get a
I'm
screenshot
tired,
of it?
I'm fussy, and I want this to stop.
Look at this kid. This kid is terrible.
Held by a gay black dude.
That kid was probably on its way to be president until that night, and then turned into a mass murderer.
Look
Why
at
would
this
you bring
kid.
a baby that fucking young to this?
It's not just that. You got to become a patron so you could see this. This kid, first, this woman is hanging over the barricade. She's hanging the kid over the barricade. The kid looks like a Chucky doll for a second. Not a Chucky doll, but just a doll. The way she's holding this kid over the barricade. She's just like hanging it like he's a sack. And then she's begging Johnny B. Bad to hold the kid. The kid is terrified. This dude is going to be scarred for the next 60 years of his life. I mean, it's terrible.
Somebody needs to call CPS.
Bruh, look. I'm just saying, look. She's already, look at this baby. Y'all see it right there in the very middle of the screen.
Yeah, she's probably saying, hey, doesn't he look like Pillman? You go get Pillman in the back and tell him to come out here.
Maybe that's the kid that got winked at.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, because Cornette was there. Yeah, Cornette was there when the kid got winked at, so that can't be him. Look at this kid. He's about to have a heart attack.
Like, leave me alone.
That kid's probably got a dirty diaper.
God.
All right. Anyway, Johnny B. Bad's taking on Young Pistol Steve because they can't say Steve Armstrong anymore.
Why?
I don't know.
Southern.
JR mentions that next week Pillman will take on Brad Armstrong, and that will take place on the very first new edition of WCW Saturday Night. That's right. Next week begins the talk show era of Saturday Night on TBS. It's not as bad as you think, but it's something else. Anyway, Doc, let's go to you. Johnny B. Bad taking on Steve Armstrong here. What do you have?
Poor Steve. That was my note. After the women on the outside.
Yeah, he don't have much more time here. He's coming to his end. During this era, I should say.
Yeah.
He'll be back later down the line, but yeah, he's almost done.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
All right. So we get a big boot by Johnny. Johnny then with a few punches, and then he hits a sunset flip from the top rope, and Johnny B. Bad wins by pin, and that is that. From there, boy, oh boy, I wish you were here last week, Doc, because...
What the shit is this? I have never seen any of this. I've always read about it, but the dark period means dark. What in the hell?
This is one of your favorite wrestlers of all time in WCW. He goes by the name of Scotty Flamingo. He cut a promo last week that was gold. Well, let's go to this one and see if there's more gold. Here it is.
That's it, ladies. It's kicking. It's kicking live, ladies. Flamingo Madness, the World Tour. It's happening. It's here in World Championship Wrestling. The future of professional wrestling And I, Scotty Flamingo, the Flamingo Kid, is the future of World Championship Wrestling. Everywhere I go, ladies love me, girls adore me. I mean, even the ones that never saw me, like the way that I rhyme at the show. The reason why, I don't know. Obviously, I know. It's obvious. I am so good looking. Look at his body, ladies. Look at his body. Look at this hair. Look at my eyes. I am so pretty. It's amazing. I am the greatest sports commodity in the world. Scotty Flamingo, the franchise of World Championship Wrestling. Everywhere they go, people are coming to see me because I am here. I'm hyped. I'm what's happening. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of stuff going on, but nothing is going on like me. The light heavyweight division, obviously they're going to have to rename it the Scotty Flamingo division. Pillman, the reason I'm here is your problem, not mine.
I just need to know your thoughts, Doc. This actually wasn't as good as the one last week, but it's something else. Your thoughts?
The words cultural appropriation come to mind.
What's he do? Who's he stealing culture from?
Yeah.
Mike?
No, he's not.
No. I think he looks like kind of like a modern Rick Martel. But like a
he's doing that, like, but he's trying to be a rapper.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't call that rap.
Yeah, I
No.
think it's just bad, like being a bad, like, poet.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Let me remind you. I said
That's
this last
Raven.
week. This dude became Raven.
Right.
That goes to show you how a gimmick, a bad gimmick, can just turn somebody good into shit. And he did this first, but I'm saying, like, this dude became Raven, the freaking grunge Raven.
He's got a great physique on him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Nice
very, it's very weird.
He comes in, he goes, hey, I have some ideas. And they go, no, we need a white pea in news. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Yeah. It's still amazing to me. I mean, again, it's ridiculous, but this is amazing that this same dude is Raven. All
Yeah.
right. Harper, you know who he reminds me of, though?
Oh.
And I don't know if it's the name. he for some reason, he reminds me a little of Danny Flamingo.
Yeah.
The way he's talking.
Yeah, because they're both like douchebags.
Right. He sounds like Danny Flamingo. Danny Flamingo wrestles for Wildcat in New Orleans. All right, let's continue. Mr. Hughes and Vinny Vegas are taking on Scott Allen and Dave Francis. This is a pretty quick match. Vegas is going to.
Can you run that back to the beginning?
You got a timestamp?
I need you know, just when they introduce him, that one enhancement fella's an odd looking dude.
The one with the yellow?
Let's see.
Yeah, let's get it from Harper. What's this guy do for a living, and what's his car smell like?
He looks like that
guy, Harper.
Oh, that guy's Well, that guy's got some attachments on him. I could tell you that. If you ran his name, he'll be in jail.
That hair dude
he looks like the third guitarist from Molly Hatchet.
That's like a 1972 hairdo.
She hit me first.
I put a ring on it. Her uncle said I could hit her.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. What else, Doc, from these four? Like I said, pretty quick.
There's a point in here where Hughes clotheslines one of those fellas, and it was nasty to the face. I don't have a timestamp because I quit giving a shit about this deep into it. But
Mr. Hughes is underrated. Did you?
This may be it.
That's it.
That was it.
Plastered him.
Did
you catch Hughes and I'm sorry, Vinny Vegas and Richard Morton, and versus Van Hammer and Z-Man in the Super Brawl? Yeah, that was something
great.
else.
It was a Matt classic.
Yeah,
that was something. Rumor on the street is Hughes was suspended at that time by management.
Oh.
Being disciplined. Yeah. A few people researched me about that.
Failing a piss test or something?
No, actually, the room. I actually heard this rumor years ago. About his narcolepsy.
Oh, from him falling asleep, just like.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it was from that he got suspended, but that's the rumor why he was not in that match, because he was supposed to tag with Vinny Vegas in that match.
Well, that's a medical situation.
All right.
Imagine him just falling asleep in a ring.
Tag. I can't remember if it was JR that I heard say this or somebody else, but years ago, I remember listening to a podcast or a shoot interview, and there's a rumor that Hughes was in a tag match on the apron leaning against the turnbuckle, and he fell asleep. Now, if you know people with narcolepsy, it's quite possible that could happen, but I don't know how true it is.
Well, how do those people have a driver's license?
I'm not the authority, Harper. I couldn't tell you.
Well, if you're just driving down I-10, all of a sudden.
I hope you're not on a high rise where you just drive off into the industrial canal. That'd be a long drop. Hughes and Vinny Vegas win. Vinny Vegas hits the snake eyes, and then they win by pin, and that's that.
I tell you, Vinny Vegas looks like an extra from fucking Miami Vice, like thug number 3 in the credits.
He also, on my small phone with the dirty screen, looks like Big Bubba with the blue shirt.
Yeah, I could see that.
So on that note, we're going to now go to Rick Rude and Paulie Dangerously. They've got some thoughts that they got to share with the world after what we've just seen, or what's going on with Steamboat, I should say. Here it is.
Paulie Dangerously, the contracts have been signed. The negotiations are all over. Sunday, April 12th at the Omni. 1 of 5 championship matches. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat will be challenging Ravishing Rick Rude for the U.S. heavyweight title. And Ricky Steamboat told me he'll be coming at that title like the Orient Express.
Like the Orient Express. But first, the Orient Express has to go through the Centrum tonight. It has to go all the way down to Baltimore tomorrow. It has to go through the streets of New York City to get to the Meadowlands on Tuesday. In other words, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, don't count on your U.S. title match in the Omni on Sunday the 12th, because there just might be a murder on the Orient Express.
You know, Steamboat, I can't do anything to change the past. I can't do anything about the things you've said about me. I can't change the fact that our plan blew up in our face. I can't change the fact that you tried to hang me from the neck, choke the last breath out of my ravishing body. But you, Ricky Steamboat, you can't alter the future. And Sunday night, you're going to have to walk through the doors of the Omni. And when the house lights dim, and you step through the ropes, and you stare eye to eye with your future, Ravishing Rick Rude, you're going to realize that whatever the future holds in store for you, Ricky Steamboat, is whatever I want. See you Sunday. You heard.
He gives my Toot Toot Award for this week. It just don't get no better than that. Doc, thoughts?
There's nothing he said that's like automatically like standout line, but every bit of it made a lot of sense and seemed real to me.
Yeah, I like when he says when the house lights go down.
Yeah, they dim. That shit's about to pop off.
Yeah.
We can't see your goofy ass sign in the crowd, so eat a dick.
When you have to stare down Rick Rude, you'll realize that whatever the future holds for you is whatever I want. That's a line.
Yeah.
Stares into the camera and says that. There you go. Toot Toot Award awarded. That was good shit, pal. All right, we then go to Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton and Steve Austin. A little 6-man tag action here. Versus PN News, JYD, and Brad Armstrong. And Jim Ross is plugging the new format that starts next week, the talk show format that is. And this is a hell of a six-man.
Go away.
The fans are dancing to Yo Baby, Yo Baby, Yo. So we going to put Brad Armstrong in here with the Big Boy Twins. I don't know.
Christ.
Boy, this is a rib on Brad Armstrong, huh?
Bro, this is a rib on my life. Having to watch this.
Well, I had poor Brad on here, but Harper's making a good point.
I mean, this is the kind of matches you would see on Worldwide.
Well,
yeah, I'd like to say something, but I got nothing. Well, I mean, what was it last week?
What this is.
We had Heavy Funk, what they called JYD and PM News.
Mm-hmm.
He really does look like a fat lady at Walmart. Unreal.
Yeah. Got the scooter. and that basket.
The candy aisle.
Yeah, and that basket's full of that big ass box of the variety pack of the Fritos
and Diet Coke, because that's gonna help.
And those fucking gallons of the fucking Hawaiian Punch in a plastic jug with the handle.
Shit, it's nasty. It's so nasty.
I didn't drink that back when y'all were kids.
Oh fuck yeah, I did.
I remember it, but I didn't like it.
I remember when that shit came in that big ass can. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Oh, what a waste of fucking metal, huh? Seriously. Just think of how much it costs to make that can to put something that's not worth.
Well, we were having an oil crisis at the time and a gas crisis, and you couldn't just refine that shit into plastic left and right.
God. Corn
So you had to
syrup,
and here's the worst problem. That metal can was leaking all kinds of chemicals into that Hawaiian Punch, which was full of all kinds of chemicals to make some sort of toxic stew that we all slugged down like crazy.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, man. Yeah, is right. All right. Doc, any thoughts on this 6-man, 5-star Mac Classic? The rib on here is on Arn, Bobby, and Steve Austin. And Brad. Notice who's in the ring doing all the work, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was not my favorite match.
No, it wasn't. How about I just tell y'all how it ends? Sound like a plan?
The white guy takes the pin.
Well, Brad Armstrong, because he's the only one who's got wind, is in there taking the heat. He makes the hot tag. All the guys start fighting in the ring. News hits Arn with his finisher, but the ref isn't there to count it. And then Eaton hits News with the Alabama Jam, and Arn is going to end up pinning News so that Arn, Bobby, and Steve Austin win the match, which is how it should have been. But, yeah.
Man.
I like PN News.
Yeah, I don't hate PM News. It's just, I just don't want to look at them.
I like PN News. JYD, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Not during this era. Nope. Can't do it. And here comes Bobby.
How old was he at this time?
Dog?
Like the same age, like 40?
Hold on. I don't even know if he's 40 yet.
Damn, bro. What the fuck?
I can't do math on the fly, Harper. That's Doc's
job.
Come on,
bro.
What do you want me to do? I was a math major or some bullshit.
Wait. I swear to God.
He's not 40. That's what I thought. He's 39 right here.
Yeah.
How old is he?
39.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
Poor bastard.
39, and he looks 50. Anyway.
And weighs 375.
And last week, JR was like, oh, look at him. He's in the greatest shape he's been in a while. No, he's All right. So let's keep moving. The next match, we got Rick Rude versus Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Rude, again, is the U.S. champion, and this is our main event for the show. Doc, they started this with about 9 minutes of TV time left. Let me go to you, see what you got from it.
A couple of things. One is that for whatever you're going to say about Bagwell, let's be clear, he's green, but he's doing the best he can. They think a lot of him.
Oh, I'd rather see Bagwell. I'd rather Bagwell than
because he's a young, good-looking guy. You know.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing stuff with him. Rude, it's a nice little pile driver on him during this match. Didn't finish it though.
Everything was airtight, brother. We didn't do finishers, and that didn't finish the match. Bruh, look at that. I just noticed something.
What?
Okay, so I want y'all to look to the right of Rick Rude. There's a little white kid with some white sleeves and a black T-shirt over his long sleeve white shirt. You see him back there?
Yeah.
Okay, to the right of the... Okay. Watch when Rude does the swivel hips. Look at this little white kid. He's dick dancing, too. Look at him. You saw that?
That's funny.
Anyway.
Now that's some community outreach.
I agree with Doc. I have nothing against Bagwell. He's young. You could see something's there. Just needs a little bit of time. Z-Man don't need time. Time ain't going to fix Z-Man's issue.
Bagwell's built like a brick shit house.
That's the other part.
He's a good-looking fella. He's obviously got some aptitude for this at an early age. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I agree. He just...
Yeah.
He's not my favorite wrestler of all time. I'm just saying he's young and they're giving him some stuff here. Good for them.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, what else, Doc, from it? If anything.
Nothing. No.
So the finish of this thing, Steamboat comes out and he confronts Paul on the outside of the ring. And then Bagwell cradles Rude and almost pins him, but then Rude hits Bagwell with the Rude Awakening. And he's going to pin Bagwell after the Rude Awakening. The Steamboat comes in the ring, and he and Rude are now brawling. The dressing room clears. We get a pull apart as we go off air, and we are told to stay tuned next week for the new version of Saturday Night on TBS, the talk show era.
Can't wait.
It's something. It's something. I can't wait too. Any closing thoughts on this match before we rate it and hand out a Toot Toot Award, Doc?
No.
All right. So before we hand out the Toot Toot and give out the award, remember you can become a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. If you want to hear me and Harper break down our thoughts on the CM Punk thing, fiasco, firing, termination, whatever the hell you want to call it, you can get it there. Along with all of our clashes and pay-per-view reviews, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. It's the only place you can get it. So, Doc, let's rate it. What are you going to rate this?
Well, I get an A+ on my return.
Okay.
But this show does not.
Loves to stroke himself.
I'd prefer other people do it for me, but okay.
Don't you have a wife?
Come on.
What?
I mean, you said other people do it.
Well, I mean, in general, throughout time and history. But, I mean, what does she have to do with anything?
You're not doing it right. Just let me do it.
Just stop. Let me handle it.
Just go sit in the corner.
Right. Stop.
Playing your fucking phone. That's what you want to do anyway.
I'll call you back over when I'm almost done. You can open your mouth.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Come on.
Rate this, please.
Come on, grow up.
You know, I was not sinning this much when I was away from the show.
Grow up. Bro, see, bro, this is the type of shit I'm talking about, man. You sit there, you talk about cranking off and telling you chasing your wife away when she's giving you a little relief. Talk about JYD. Talk about Bruno. I mean, come on, Harper. What the fuck? You know, Harper, I keep telling you this every week. You think you're fucking funny, but you ain't fucking funny. Somebody fucking tell y'all you ain't fucking funny. Fucking dumbasses. Bunch of fucking marks.
Well,
that's the one he pulls out, Harper. Bunch of fucking marks.
Yeah. 450 weeks of continued excellence makes me a mark for myself. I'm going to give this show a B-.
I give it a B. Harper, what about you?
You know, I'll give it a B. I've been giving them a lot of B's, but yeah, it just hasn't.
It's not bad.
Yeah, there hasn't been a bad stinker, and there hasn't been one that's been holy shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, 10-4 on that one.
Yeah,
totally agree. All right, so it's Toot Toot Award time. I already said mine's going to Rick Rude. Who's yours going to, Doc?
Well, it's not Raven.
Well, fuck, bro. What we doing here now? We using last name Raven? I mean, why don't you just
First
say
and
Flamingo?
last.
Callaway? What, you go to fucking high school with him? It's not Polo?
Yeah.
Johnny Polo.
I'm gonna give mine to Richard Rude.
There we go. Harper, you?
Yeah, Rude gets it too.
Gotta go to Rude. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Doc, I did have a question for you.
Oh, what's that?
Have you by chance, I know you've had a lot going on in life, but have you by chance...
I've been busy, but what can I do for you?
Have you set your eyes on this HBO Bishop Sycamore documentary?
Apparently not, because I have no idea what you're talking about. But if that's that fictitious school we talked about a couple of years ago, then I probably need to get over there. You know, they changed the streaming service, so it's not HBO Max anymore. It's just what?
It's just
something
Max.
Else?
It's just
So
Max.
wouldn't that be Cinemax?
Well, it's just Max now.
Can we stay on task?
I can't. I'm so tired.
Okay. Put your eyes on that. I'm not saying we're going to do... I'm not going to say we're going to do a review on it. But when I tell you...
No, I'm interested. So I got...
That shit...
I'm going to be interested in that.
Is disgusting.
100%. Of course it is.
The head coach, he needs to be under a prison somewhere.
What? It's got something to do with children being molested?
No.
Look, if you just come out and assume that 3/4 of everyone you would come in contact with in daily life is a criminal, you're almost to the point where you can be happy and functioning in society.
This guy's a criminal, a narcissist, a sociopath. I mean,
the only people that aren't dirty are the 3 people talking on this show.
Well, I didn't want to toot my own horn, but yeah, toot.
I mean, we're all getting ready to hang up and go talk to broads. They're dirty too.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
I'm just telling you, this is our time. It's not me time. It's our time. Yeah. Down here, it's our time.
On that note, I want to remind everyone, Hardbody Harper is still doing his video shoutouts, life and relationship advice. All you have to do is email Harper to ChrisHarper16 Wildcat with a K at gmail.com. Tell him what you want in your video. Be specific and detailed. And then after you email him, make sure you PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc at yahoo.com. If you want props, you're going to have to up it. 20 won't cut it. You have
Send
to
him
pay
some
for the
lube
props
at least so he doesn't get chafed.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And you can't ask him to do anything un-Catholic like, okay? I mean, some of y'all
So no abortions, Harper.
Some of y'all want the man to film himself cranking off himself.
Come on, why?
Grow.
What?
Yeah. People are nuts.
What in the hell?
I know. It's insane. But anyway, Chris Harper 16 Wildcat with a K at gmail.com. And then PayPal is cc30388cc at yahoo.com. Harper, I'm sorry, Doc, anything else before we get out of here on your joyous return of the show tonight?
It's been joyous. It's been filled with joy. It's been joy juice everywhere, spilling out.
Juice.
Spilling out of full swollen cheeks. It's great to be back. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I will be out in 2 weeks. So don't get too attached to me. I've got to take a week off to go handle some other business. But I have a cleared BTT absence. My mom called in and I have an excused absence. And then I'll truly be back in the saddle for the long haul, checking in each and every week to just really tell everybody and update everybody on how the Dallas Cowboys are doing. Really just punching myself in the junk because the Texas Rangers have fallen out of contention. And,
yeah, what the fuck, dude?
It's bad. We lost 14-1 tonight to the Astros already. It's just awful. And really getting ready for the Super Bowl party. I'm trying to go ahead and set the menu for the Super Bowl party when the Cowboys are kicking that ass.
This dude lost his mind. Okay. On that note, yeah, it's good to know you've got so much faith in a quarterback who does nothing but fail at the top level.
He's a leader of men, Mike.
Yeah, right. He leads his team right out the fucking playoffs every year. Got that right.
Jesus.
Well, maybe if we could have a hurricane hit Dallas, then we could get the league to get behind us like y'all did.
Shut up. Anyway, Harper, I don't think you got anything else, so why don't you do us the honors, hit the tagline, and let's roll.
Book it, biatch.